Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of From the Sidelines. I'm Cullen Mack.
I'm Daniel DiMaggio.
And first things first, before we get into the episode, I just want to say make sure you guys follow, like, and subscribe. Smash that like button and subscribe if you guys want to see more content like this on your page. We have a lot to talk about this week, mainly in the NFL and the NBA. There was a lot of news that happened this week. Let's get right into the NBA. All the awards came out this year, so congratulations to all the nominees and all the winners.
I'll start with this one. Clutch Player of the Year. It's also giving homage to Jerry West, too, right?
This year, it was a Mr. Steph Curry for the Golden State Warriors. I would describe his season as like being the one-man band. He did it all.
One-man show, for sure. For sure.
Well, moving on to Most Improved Player, there was a lot of controversy around this one. This award did go to 76ers guard Tyrese Maxey, taking over the starting point guard spot this year for James Harden, who departed to go to the LA Clippers. Maxey had a great season. He averaged 26 points, but a lot of people thought this award, and I will agree with a lot of people on this one, this award definitely should have gone to Kobe White over in Chicago. He had a 10-point increase in points, last year averaging 9.7, I believe, and now this year averaging 19.1. So, I mean, this guy took over a role in midway through the season as Levine got hurt pretty early. What a year Kobe White had. It was really impressive to see.
Well, too bad that monologue of Cullen's won't win him the award. I like the support for Kobe White. I think he deserves it. It's a 50-50, but I think Tyrese Maxey's playoff performance sends him over the edge. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but knowing Kobe White, he's probably okay with it going to Tyrese Maxey. That he's like, Tyrese Maxey?
That's so love, bro.
Well, moving on to another award. We have Sixth Man of the Year award, and this one ended up going to Timberwolves forward Naz Reid. Kind of interesting, pretty cool as well to see this go to a big man. Normally you see the Sixth Man of the Year of the award go to likes of Jamal Crawford or Lou Williams. Okay, I will show off the jersey right now. It's a 76ers Lou Will jersey, so had to show that one off.
You go, you deserve it.
Naz Reid, big man, can kind of do it all. One thing that's really great about him is his handle. I mean, this guy's 6'11", and he's got handles out there for days. What do you think about this one, Daniel?
Giving Naz Reid his love. I know he's an internet sensation. I think Norm Powell deserves some credit. I don't know if he even got a first place vote. I don't know if that matters at the end of the day. I obviously have that bias. And I think Malik Monk was robbed. Maybe he wasn't robbed, but he was close. He was right on Naz Reid's tail, and I think if he didn't get injured, we might be having a different conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you 100% on that take. Malik Monk had an amazing year. I believe he even led the entire NBA in points scored off the bench, which is weird because you would think that's the criteria to get Sixth Man of the Year. But like you said, him having that injury kind of derailing him, and I think it's when he had the injury.
Here's what I want to know. Everyone's curious. I'm curious. I don't know. Who's your MVP pick?
The MVP pick. Wow. This is a good one. I mean, I think that the three finalists were Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic, and Mr. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I'm a big SGA fan, although a lot of people will say it's going to go to Jokic. I think Shai Gilgeous deserves this one. SGA is a hooper. Chet Holmgren himself said it the other day, SGA for MVP.
I think Shai has the best supporting cast out of all the three. He's an incredible player. All three of them are. I think Luka Doncic deserves it. And I think Nikola Jokic deserves it, but it's overkill. It's unfair.
It's unfair, but at the same time, like, he's so deserving of it.
You know why he's deserving of it? Because he's up 3-0 on the Lakers, my friend. They're nothing to joke about. They have two of the best forwards in the game. And he's averaging 28, 16, and 9. You can put anybody around him, and he'll figure it out. You have LeBron saying, we're playing until the wheels fall off. Well, he's got one more. That's a car with one wheel left. You've also got LeBron saying, at the end of the day, it's just basketball. You have him questioning a job between a hobby. Jokic is making this man, the greatest of all time, go insane.
I saw something the other day. If you ever seen that commercial where LeBron goes back in time to talk to younger LeBron, someone did one today where he went back in time and he's like, hey, there's this guy named Nikola Jokic. You need to tell him to just fall in love with horse racing. That's all he needs to do for the rest of his life, okay? No basketball.
I think it's surprising that I predicted the Heat would be down 0-2 by the time we'd be making this episode. But the series is tied 1-1 without Jimmy and Terry Rozier. It's Kristaps Porzingis' fault.
Yeah, I mean, Kristaps has been their X factor all year. Every time they've won a game, because Kristaps have had a great game, especially when going up against those tougher opponents. It's the reason they got this guy. He can do it all. He's like what they kind of always wanted Al Horford to be. Just a big guy that can shoot the ball, put it on the floor, just do whatever. I mean, also, I would also want to look at Drew Holiday. I mean, I think it's crazy. These two guys, they're two big pickups this year. They're the two struggling the most in the playoffs. So I think these two guys have to step it up. They got these guys for a reason, and they're not performing. So what are they going to do? Let's keep it in the East. We have the Pacers up 2-1 on the Bucks. I mean, they had an insane overtime game. Tyrese Halliburton is looking like that guy again. We've been wondering, where is All-Star Hallie? He's back. And Spicy P's been playing insane.
You're right. Pascal's been averaging 30 points this series, and he didn't do well this recent game. The Pacers are doing what the Celtics should be doing, capitalizing with the star being out.
Talking about capitalizing when a star is out, the Mavs failed to do that opportunity against the Clippers. The Clippers get star Kawhi Leonard back, and it seems that it's the opposite effect. Now they're losing more games. They've lost 2 in a row since Kawhi's come back. I don't really know what to make of this. It seems like he's still on a minute restriction or something. He played only 25 minutes today. Is he still injured? Because if he's still injured, then he shouldn't be out there. Because you're costing your team a chance at a championship. Sit the series out, because clearly they didn't need you for the first game. And
you tell him, big dog. There's no question this guy on my left shoulder is an incredible basketball player. There's also no question he's a liabilty. That's right, I went to high school, all 4 years, debatable. He's a liability. He's a liability for Clippers fans. He's a liability for the Intuit Arena being built next year. He's a liability as the word superstar. He needs to be held accountable more. I'm not gonna rant about him, because I said what I said. You want to compare him to a Michael Jordan, you want to compare him to a Steph Curry, you can't, because his health impedes that. That's all I'll say.
If he's really injured, I think they didn't need him, so he should just sit out now and come back when he's healthy, because obviously, according to that first game, they would have been fine without him. So we'll see what happens with the rest of that series. On a brighter note,
Paul George needs to step it up too. I know that's from downtown, but he needs to step it up too. Next segment. Just need to hold him accountable. Love you, PG-13. But you need to hold it accountable too, bud. You had less than 10 points tonight too, bud. That's not acceptable.
Do you need a visit to the sports therapist, Daniel? Maybe we should take you to sports therapy.
Why? Do you sense my blood pressure is rising? C-Mac? Do you sense I am falling off an edge?
Let's put you on a nice, comfortable, fluffy chair. We can give you some of your best food, maybe a nice tea, and you can spell out all your sports world problems at the sports therapist. Now, let's talk about the best team in the West by record, the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're up against the Pelicans, and they look dominant. Chet Holmgren had an amazing game, too, against the Pelicans, and so did SGA. I mean, SGA is doing the same thing every single night. He's so consistent. He's always giving you 30+, 35, 32, whatever. And then for Chet to step up, I think you should get your brooms out, New Orleans. It's time to start sweeping. I think maybe they should focus on Mardi Gras instead of this series, because that's what it looks like is going to happen. Well, the next series that we want to take a look at, again, I'm going to throw my jersey up. The Philadelphia 76ers have just won a game. The other day, Joel Embiid said that they're going to win this series. And he unfortunately was treated for Bell's palsy, which is paralysis of the face, over this past weekend. They go back to Philly, and guess what Joel Embiid does? He drops a 50-piece to secure the win over the Knicks. Yes, he did play a little rough, maybe had some Draymond Green-esque plays, but he pulled out the win, and now this is a series, like we said, that could go 7.
I think it's incredible to mention Josh Hart averaging 11 rebounds as a shooting guard.
Yeah, no, I mean, this guy is another guy that does it all for the team. If he's not shooting the ball, he's down in the paint grabbing boards. If he's not scoring or grabbing rebounds, he's getting assists and getting steals. I mean, what a great asset to have on your team. And he's always giving 110%. He's just a hustle guy.
We've officially made it. We've made it. We've made it to the NFL, and more specifically the NFL draft, my friend. One of the most exciting times of the year to be an NFL fan, because you're seeing an influx, a slew of new talent, and for some people, so for Falcons fans, someone you won't be seeing for a couple of years until he's 28 years old, Michael Penix. But otherwise, you guys have incredible people. Cut to C-Mac. Otherwise, you guys have incredible ageless blunders to watch, and I think we should start off with the first pick overall announced by Daniel DiMaggio. No, that's not how it's going to be, but I will announce the first pick. Caleb Williams went number 1 overall to the Chicago Bears. Not a surprise, was it, Cullen?
No, that was not a surprise. We all knew this for, I think, since like last June that he was going number 1 into the Bears, so that's pretty fun. Number 2, kind of surprising. You know, people were wondering, was Drake May going to go to the Commanders? Was it Jaden Daniels? And then the day of, they dropped a mock draft where Jaden Daniels 2, Drake May 3 to the Pats, and that's exactly what happened.
He's incredible. ASU fans, ASU alumni, Cullen McCarthy's familiar with his game. You might have gone there the same time as him.
I did. My first year at ASU was his first year at ASU. So forks up.
Jaden Daniels, Drake May. It was a flip flop. Which one was going to go first? Because both those teams need a quarterback, and both those teams made the right pick, getting the best quarterback at that pick. Number 4, my friend, OH Unite, OH Nation. Arizona Cardinals got a lucky one. They got the best wide receiver in the draft, in my opinion. Hence the reason he got drafted 4th overall. Maserati Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, I mean, great pickup by him. Just giving Kyler Murray another weapon to throw it to. I mean, he's going to have an electric career, and I'm excited to see this guy's rookie year. Maybe does he break the rookie receiving yards records held by Justin Jefferson? We'll see. I have a feeling he might do it.
Are you saying yards, receptions, TDs?
Just yards.
100%.
Next pick, let's keep it up on the receivers. New York Giants take Malik Nabers, the big man out of LSU. I thought this was a really great pick for them, but again, I mean, is Daniel Jones your quarterback? Is this the guy you want to throw into Malik Nabers? Is this guy going to help Daniel Jones? We'll find out, I guess.
I think the Giants were in a rock and a hard place either way with this pick, and they got the best person they could, which no one could turn this franchise around at this point. Malik Nabers, it's like, you're getting maybe an Odell Beckham. We'll see. We also saw number 8, Michael Penix. The Falcons drafted Michael Penix, Cullen? What? You guys just got Kirk Cousins.
This is definitely a little bit of a head scratcher. Terry Fontenot, GM of the Falcons, right after the draft, they had a press conference. They asked him some big questions. He said this was the time to draft Michael Penix. They didn't want to let him get away. But I personally thought Michael Penix would have been on the board at day 2. I mean, that's all I'm saying. Why not use your first-round pick to get a guy that'll help you win this season? You just spent all this money on Kirk Cousins, and it's guaranteed money. So Kirk Cousins is your quarterback. You have to keep him as your quarterback. And they addressed that and stood by that in the conference, but why not get a Dallas Turner? I mean, I don't know. I would have been happy if they drafted Brock Bowers, just to add another weapon to that offense. But they didn't do that. They didn't alert Kirk Cousins until they were on the clock that they were going to draft his successor. I mean, if I'm Kirk Cousins, I'm supposed to be the guy. How's that supposed to make me feel? I would feel quite uneasy in Atlanta right now.
Yeah, you know what? I was about to hand you the business card for that sports therapist, but then I realized everything you're saying is warranted. Let's move on, though. Let's keep the past behind us and move on to Rome Odunze. I'll keep this short and sweet. I wish he fell to the Jets, but incredible job by the Bears. They definitely take the cake at the draft. Not only do they draft a franchise quarterback, but they also get an incredible wide receiver to pair up with him. Not only do they have him at wide receiver, they also brought in Keenan Allen. They also have DJ Moore. I mean, we're talking about one of the best wide receiver cores in the NFL.
Don't forget about the addition of running back DeAndre Swift as well.
The Jets fell to 11, and the Vikings moved to 10. They made a trade, and the Vikings took J.J. McCarthy. They got their quarterback, and I guess this is their attempt at keeping Justin Jefferson.
Next, we saw the Jets take an offensive lineman at number 11. You know, just really trying to make sure Aaron Rodgers is protected there. I think they're going to actually put 8 offensive linemen on the field next year so that Aaron Rodgers doesn't even get touched. They really want to protect him with this pick.
Well, that's just Secret Service protecting a vice president, right?
Next, we had the Broncos take Bo Nix with the 12th pick, so they're going to have a little bit of maybe a QB battle there with Bo Nix and Zach Wilson.
The Jets traded away Zach Wilson. No! Yay! They traded him. Well, the worst part is we traded our first-round pick for a 7th rounder. Good luck to Zach Wilson. He's not our problem anymore.
I'm sure Robert Salah's mom was very sad to see Zach Wilson go.
Ooh. There it is. There it is, my friend.
All right, well, Brock Bowers, Georgia boys unite, go Dogs, woo, 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 went to the Raiders. Kind of cool. They're going to pair him up with Michael Mayer. Kind of interesting, though, that they took him. I'm surprised they didn't go a quarterback route, even though there's some other cool names on the board, but maybe they'll take someone day 2. So now you've got Tay Adams, you've got Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer. I'm kind of excited to see this Raiders offense and what Aiden O'Connell can do in it next year. Also, some other notables, other Georgia Dogs. Ladd McConkey goes to the Chargers, so I guess they found their new receiver, maybe? I don't know. Kind of interesting. Also, Cooper DeJean falling all the way to day 2. Kind of interesting. A guy touted as maybe the best corner in this draft falls to the Eagles. So they finally get more guys to bolster that defense.
The Chiefs trade up with the Bills in a shocking move. 2 conference rivals. They meet each other in the playoffs quite often. So, in my opinion, the Bills got fleeced. The Chiefs trade up to draft Xavier Worthy, fastest player in the history of the NFL. This one still hasn't sat with me. We got Xavier. I'm a Jets fan. This is insane. This is insane. I called it. All I'll say is I called it. I thought it was interesting, also worth mentioning, the NFL just authorized the use of Guardian caps. And if you don't know what Guardian caps are, I'll pop them up right here. They authorized them for in-season games. So imagine your favorite player wearing that big jumbo thing on their head. They're going to look like lollipops. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, on a more serious note, they did notice last year when they were allowed to wear them during like OTAs and preseason that concussions went down and concussion symptoms went down. So this might be good.
I didn't know that concussions were a problem in football.
Yeah, I think this will be good for the league. Final thing to say on the show, Reggie Bush gets his Heisman back, baby. And the first person to congratulate him, a Mr. Johnny Money Manziel. Really cool to see. Glad Reggie got his trophy back, especially in this era of NIL. Very well deserved. That's going to do it for us this week on From the Sidelines. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I just want to remind you guys, please follow, like, subscribe, share. Just spread the word. If you love our show as much as we do, hope you guys share it with your friends. I'm Cullen Mack.
I'm Daniel DiMaggio.
And we'll see you guys next week.